Aloha and welcome to Extractor Part 3. In this video, we will be going over how to maintain the machine so it's continuously running correctly. Let's take a look. This is the extractor from the side front view. This is from the back side view. The first thing you do is open the top and you take off the 3 hoses. You twist and take off the first one, twist and turn, take off the second one, and then the last one, twist and turn and take off the last one. This is how it looks from the top. This is where the dirty water is. This is where the ball and the filter is. Sometimes when the lid is full of dirt, you have to take it to a sink or flush it out with water. This is where you stick the water hose in. Take it somewhere where you can clean it. Make sure the hose is in the hole and you are holding it correctly and turning the selector switch up and down, and at the same time keeping the hose in the hole so you're cleaning the machine and the dirt at the same time, machine and dirt. The next part, we're going to be taking the ball off of the filter, clean the filter, and put the ball back. There is a couple of clips. You can take it apart and get the ball out. Now after you get the ball out, take the filter to a sink and rinse it out, and then put everything back together. Make sure you dry the filter before putting it back on. After trying 2 or 3 times, it'll come easier to you to get it back on the lid. The next thing we're going to do is put the lid back on the machine. There are grooves on the lid that lines up with the grooves on the machine. Just look at it and it fits right on. Push that piece of rubber down before you connect the first hose. On the first hose, there's grooves. You can feel it. When you twist, you can feel it lock on. Then you try the second one, same thing. Look where the grooves are. It twists and puts it on, and you can feel it lock. Then the third one, push it on, feel it twist, and it locks right on. Then we're going to take off the top tank. The top tank comes right off. This is how the machine looks like when you take off the top tank. There's a hose at the bottom of the top tank. Take it to a toilet or a floor sink to drain it. Make sure you wash all this dirty water out so when you bring it back, it is nice and clean. And the bottom tank is where the detergent and water goes. The next step is to push the machine back so we can look underneath. The next step is to take off the front of the machine. Push the black lever and pull straight out. See the black lever? You push it and pull it straight out and the front comes right out. When you have the front out, make sure you clean this part. Flush the water hose in here and make sure that all the water comes out. When it is wet, it is easy to clean. If you wait till it dries, you're going to need a hacksaw to clean this out. Now we're going to take off the brush. Hold the plastic before you grab the brush. Grab it, pull it straight out. On this end, there's a cut. It goes on first. It lines up with this cut on the vacuum. Now when you got the brushes off, you can clean inside with a wet rag. Do not shoot water because there's electronics in here. Use a wet rag to wipe everything down. Next is the dirty brush. Run it under the sink water and make sure that you use your hands or another brush to clean this and make sure it's nice and clean. This brush took me about 5 minutes to clean. It should look like this brush after cleaning. Make sure you dry the brush completely before bringing it back. The next thing we're going to talk about is the bearing under this cap. You take off the cap, and then there's going to be a Phillips screwdriver. You take up the Phillips screwdriver, and there's a bearing under there. The hair gets into the bearing even though there's a cap, so you need to make sure that you clean the bearing twice a month so the machine doesn't break down. Then put back the cap. The next thing we're going to talk about is this clip right here. If this clip is broken or it comes off, do not use the machine because there's bearings underneath and the belt will break the bearings more. If you use the machine while this clip is broken, it is a $700 repair. That's very expensive. So when that clip is broken, do not use the machine. Take the machine in to have it repaired. We have everything off now. We're going to put it all back. Check this clip and make sure it's not broken. If it is, take the machine in for repair. Wipe down the inside with the wet rag and moving on to the next step. The next thing we're going to check is the bearings inside the brush. Clean it 2 times a month. Then put the cap back on. Now we're going to put on the brush. There's a cut. It lines up with the groove inside the vacuum. Line it up on one side and put it a little closer and push it right on. Next, we're going to put on the front of the machine. In the vacuum, there is a hose that connects to the front. You need to connect that to the front of the machine and then push the lever in and wiggle the front of the machine on with that black lever. Push the machine down. This is what it looks like. Put the top tank back on. Now close the lid. Thank you for joining us on Extractor Part 3, Maintenance. Please use the machine correctly so the machine does not break. Aloha.